Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For those passes on time,
You like them?
Yeah, they're so pretty. Thank you.
I went and got them this morning. All right, time to weigh myself, see what we're coming in at this week. This is gonna be definitely the lightest weight that we've come in. I'm weighing myself on the VitaGoods Body Analyzer scale. So it looks like we're at 88 kilos. Cool thing about this is after you give it a few seconds, it's gonna pop up with body fat, bone density, muscle density, and water density. So you can see 46% of me is muscle, 14% is body fat, 62% is water, and 4.3 kilos is bone. So I'd say that that body fat is probably just a little bit higher than it really is, but it is an accurate change between the times that you weigh yourself on the scale. As you can tell behind me, my sister has been staying down here for like the last week. She needs to make her bed. But yeah, if you guys have been watching the channel for a long time, you know I've been using this scale for probably somewhere around like maybe 9 months, maybe a year, something like that. But I really like this scale. I think it's awesome. If you guys want to check it out, you can program up to 8 people in it. So if you live with some other people, maybe your girlfriend or a family or something like that, you can put in different profiles. So like if maybe you're 20 and you're a male and then your mom wants to use it and she's 45, that's a different setup so that it will get a more accurate statement of like your body fat and all that kind of stuff. If you guys are interested in checking this out, it is 60% off if you use my code HUMOROUSFIT, and I'll also put the link below in the description. The first thing you'll see, and click that and you can check it out. Now, I know you came in this video because you want to see that bench press fail, but it is coming, okay? Just hold on 1 second. If you've been following along with the channel for the last couple of months, you know I've been working really hard in physical therapy to get through my shoulder impingements that I've had for a couple of years that have stopped me from bench pressing and shoulder pressing and doing any sort of overhead movement. One of the things that I've been doing lately that's really helped me that you should also really look into if you've been experiencing shoulder impingements is working on your core strength. With this exercise, I'm just laying flat against the ground, using the ground as like a tactile response for my shoulder blades to really allow my shoulders to open up. Then from that position, I'm just doing 4 or 5 reps of press so that I can really feel my shoulder blades doing the right thing against the ground. And then I hold my core strong, kick myself up into a seated position, and while really flexing my core, I go into a shoulder press while trying to allow myself to have thoracic extension. For some reason, doing this seated versus standing allows me to really contract my core, and it makes it so that my shoulders don't hurt, whereas sometimes when I'm standing, my core isn't as active and it actually does hurt. This may not sound like a lot to you, but this is 40-pound dumbbells. I haven't used this kind of weight on a shoulder press in like years. So really try this core strength thing if you do have issues with your shoulders. Nothing like a hot steaming cup of failure served in the morning. So I've been doing a lot of floor pressing with the barbell bench lately just so that I can get my shoulder blades into proper position, really gain the strength so that I can keep that position as I go into the regular bench press in the future and do more range of motion. So just previous to this set, I went all the way up to 225, then went down to 205, and now I believe this is 185 right here, and I'm trying to do this for higher reps where I was doing 225 for maybe like 3 to 4 reps right there. So everything is going really fine. Actually, everything's going really good. I'm really pressing through my elbows, through my wrists. Everything is locking in, feeling really tight and feeling really secure. I really can feel it in my chest. The way that I'm allowing my shoulders to move back and the way that my shoulder blades are moving is all working really well. And I feel so strong because I'm gripping the bar as hard as I can. Definitely one of my tips right there is just squeeze the bar as hard as you can. And I'm like, you know what? That last rep was really hard, but I think I can go for another one. I come down, I start to come up. It looks like it's gonna be easy rep. I just barely fall out of confusion with where I should be in the groove. I lose balance just a little bit. I just can't recuperate it, and I drop it. And luckily, these plates are a little higher than my rib cage, so it's totally fine. But if I was on a bench press, this would have been crazy, which is why you should always have a spotter. You should always have safety bars. So we're down here at the mall, and I'm trying to get some shoes. I'm actually trying to get some, like, I think Adidas Adi Powers, and these are just basically weightlifting shoes or powerlifting shoes, and they have basically kind of like a built-in platform on the heel that allows you to be more on your toes. And this will just help me keep my hips tucked under me when I'm doing squats, which is just like one thing that I'm having a little bit of trouble with just because my ankle mobility on the right is a little bit worse than it is on the left. So once I get these, it'll allow me to keep that tuck right at the bottom, which is where I tend to lose it. So this week when I was squatting, I've been trying to do a bit of strength, but also a bit of endurance, because what I'm finding out is that when I fatigue, my abs get a little bit weak. That's when I start letting my hips untuck at the bottom. So what that translated out to this week is I used 185 pounds for, it was like 4 or 5 sets of 3 reps. So I was just trying to really keep tight the whole time. I could have gone for a 4th or a 5th rep, but I would have been losing that tightness. And really all I'm trying to do is keep my hips really tucked right now before I start trying to progress in the weight too much. I was also mixing that with 4 to 5 sets of 5 to 8 reps with 135 pounds, so just 1 plate on the bar. This is relatively light. It's pretty easy for me to keep my hips tucked. So while I'm coming down, I'm trying to keep my descension slow, and I'm really trying to keep my abs sucked and tucked in, trying to pull my hips up by using my abs. And in this way, I can kind of train my strength up so I can get more weight up, but I'm also training my endurance so that my abs don't fatigue out and allow my hips to pop out of place. So right now I'm cooking one of the meals that I've been cooking when I'm lazy, but I still want to eat really healthy and whole. So I've got frozen mixed vegetables in here. I got green beans, green peas, carrots, and corn. And after they thaw and they're pretty much cooked, then I just bring over my bag of cooked brown rice, and I throw in something like a cup. I'll just add something like a tablespoon of sauce. So right now I'm using teriyaki, but I could use anything, maybe even just soy sauce or like orange chicken sauce. I'll give it a final mix here, and literally that is it. Like, this is done. That's it. I could cook it longer if I want to get it like kind of crispy or something, or if I want to cook some of the water out. But that is it. It took like maybe 2 minutes here. And instead of eating some sort of prepackaged thing or something, you know, out, instead of going and ordering something, I have a ton of good fiber and food right here. So I've been talking about this being the last week of my diet, but here's the plan here. Here's what I've got going on in my head. I think that we've gotten to a really good spot with my physique. I think it's definitely at that point where I was originally intending to go with this diet, where I'm able to see the muscles that I've built. You know, I'm actually able to see the size and the shape of the muscles that I've been developing by taking off that layer of fat. And at the same time, as I've been doing this diet phase, I've also been able to, you know, explore more movement. So I'm seeing some size come onto my delts and some size come into my chest and stuff like that. And it's really cool to be able to see this, you know, translate onto my physique and finally get the fat off so I can see what it looks like. In the last video, I did tell you guys that this would be the last dieting episode, but I do want to take it just a little further for 2 reasons. One, I do just want to get 1, maybe 2 more weeks of seeing what my body will look like if I just take off just a little bit more fat, because this definitely has been a lot slower of a diet than previous. So I've been able to retain a lot more mass this time because I didn't have like a deadline, like a competition. But 2, I really want to make a really good final video for this diet. So I want to make a transformation from before to after, and I just don't have time this week. So I want to make sure that before we end up the diet, I have the time to make that transformation, I get it all finished up, and I get to put it out to you guys. So that's what you're gonna see next when it comes to this diet. From that point on though, I'm actually planning on bulking at a very slow and lean pace. And this means for me not having quite as many meals out, and also means I'll be eating more whole foods and trying to get a lot less salt in, because, you know, with this physique, obviously there is marketing and stuff, and it makes it more possible to get more people into veganism and check out, you know, being a muscular bodybuilder and stuff if you are showing those muscles really clearly by being defined and stuff. So I do want to stay at this body fat, or at least a low body fat, for at least another 4, 5, 6 months. So I want to use this bulking period to slowly add muscle and also as minimal body fat as possible while I get these new movements back in here, benching and overhead and all this kind of stuff, and shoulders and stuff. And so it'll be a great timing where I'm able to gain like this massive amount of strength and also this massive amount of size because of these new movements coming back in. One of my biggest tips for all of you guys who are also dieting along with me is to do the majority of your food whole foods. If you can do 100% of your food whole foods, do it, because it's gonna make you not hungry, but you're still seeing the results, versus other people who maybe are spending some of their calories on like a soda or something like that, and they have to fight that hunger at the end of the night just to get the same results as you. Anyways, my amazing people, I appreciate you coming into these videos, showing love and support. It means the world to me. You guys are my family, you're my friends, like I always say it. I really do truly mean it. Thank you guys again for coming into this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Team Beyond the Week, CT.
Lift heavy or die MIRIN, motherfucker.
Team Beyond the Week,
CT. Lift heavy or die MIRIN.